Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jarris. I am an Etsy shop owner of 6.5 years. I've done about $1.3 million on Etsy. I live in San Diego, California, but I'm from Minnesota. I'm also a wife and a mom of 2 kids. Before Etsy, my whole background is in e-commerce. So I worked for Zappos, which is owned by Amazon. I worked for Zulily, the flash sale site. I also sell on Amazon and Shopify. So e-commerce is my expertise, specifically Etsy. And now I teach others how to build multi-6-figure Etsy shops for themselves. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about Etsy ads. I teach my son not to say hate. Okay guys, I hate Etsy ads, and for so many reasons. You cannot choose your max bid. You really have very little choice in anything regarding how that money is spent. So I really only recommend using Etsy ads at one specific point in your business. And that is part of the whole set of sprinting strategies that I give you when you are trying to get traction, get your first 1,000 sales, maybe your first $10,000 or something like that. So it is a very, very limited time that I would even recommend trying them. At this stage in my business, I'm in the set of strategies that I call the marathon strategies. So this is all about pulling levers to improve your profitability. I do $300,000 to $400,000 a year in revenue consistently, year after year after year. And I had not used them in a very long time until I inadvertently turned them on. Now, this was July. I turned them on for 60 days. Somehow I had a budget set to $5 a day. I had this on for about 60 days and I did not realize it until after 2 months. Now, I was advertising 5 items. This is like the biggest waste of $254 that I've ever spent. Hence the video title. I tried $5 a day Etsy ads for 60 days and here's what happened. So this whole video I am making because I made a big oopsie, right? I had a big oops and I made a mistake, and let me tell you how that happened. My ad budget must have been from years ago, must have been set at $5 a day. I can't even tell you the last time I intentionally turned on advertising, but that's what it was set at, I guess, at the time. I guess that budget amount was left in there, but I always have ads turned off for every single product. Now, what happened was in the beginning of July, I created a bunch of new products, and when I'm creating products, I copy and edit listings, and that's how you save a lot of time. Now, what happened was I must have somehow clicked the button at the very bottom of that listing creation tool where you can turn on ads for this item. Well, next thing you know, I have accidentally turned on ads for 5 of those listings that I created. This is completely unintentional. I do $30,000 to $40,000 a month in Etsy sales, and I am basically like drinking water from a fire hose. I cannot find help to hire fast enough. Basically, that's where I'm at. So there's no way that I was trying to get more business through turning on Etsy ads. This was a complete accident. So basically, $254 later, I realized, oh my gosh, I had ads turned on. What the heck? Shut it down. But I was wondering, what was the result of this? I've seen videos out there where people test Etsy ads for like a month or something, and I really had no desire to spend money to even make a video like that. But I guess here we are. I'm making a video about it because of my silly mistakes. So the ads were on for about 60 days. I spent $254, and the revenue from spending $254 on ads was $553. Oh. Yeah. I could have gotten some new aligned leggings for that. Now, on those 5 items, those 5 new listings that I advertised inadvertently, I had priced them a little bit lower to take a margin hit, just to get some traction, to get some sales, to get those listings ranking, right? So my margins are normally 70 to 75%. Now, my margin on these 5 listings was closer to 50%. So that means of $553 in revenue, my profit was only half of that. And out of that profit, $254 went to advertising. So my overall profit spread across 15 orders from those ads was a total of $22.50. Okay, I lost so much money on my time. Normally my hourly wage is like $100, $250 an hour whenever I am making things or packaging for my shop. Sometimes my hourly wage is as high as $180 an hour on certain items in my shop. This was such a waste. I basically worked for free on those 15 orders. And I guess the only good thing that came of it was this video. The funny thing is here is that I probably never would have even needed ads if I wanted to see my traffic increase. When I took a look at the 2 months prior to turning these ads on to see what my traffic was, there really was no significant difference in traffic or visits when I turned those ads on. So those advertisements, that $254 in advertising, it really didn't drive additional views to my shop. So I really think that that $554 in revenue most likely would have been there anyways, even if I hadn't had the ads turned on. How I know this is that I looked at the 2 months prior and looked at my traffic, my average daily visits, and I compared it to my average daily visits during the times that I had ads turned on. And really there's no significant lift in my average daily views or visits. So when I'm talking about lift, I'm looking for the percent increase in traffic on days when I have ads compared to the average daily traffic without ads. So I'm looking for a percent increase. If you're running ads, you should see some kind of a lift in your average daily visits. However, that really was not the case. So when you run ads, you should be looking for a payoff here, right? A payoff in increased visits. But essentially with this, there was none. So if you are relying on Etsy ads to drive traffic and visits to your shop while you're in the stage of getting traction in your shop, I want to offer you some perspective here. The biggest reason that I do not like Etsy ads is not because of the cost. It's not because they're not effective, but really it's because to get traffic and visitors to your shop, it's either going to cost you time or it's going to cost you money. So you have to spend either your time or your money to get more traffic. Now, Etsy ads are the most inefficient use of either one of those things, to be honest. I will stand by that statement until things change on Etsy. The problem with paying for advertising to get traffic is that once you stop paying, the traffic goes away. As long as you're pumping money into the machine, sure, you're gonna keep getting some visits, right? But if you stop, if you turn off the money, if you turn off the faucet, those visits are going to dry up. So after you stop putting in money, you're left with nothing. Not to mention, you have no choice in how much you're actually paying for each visitor to your shop because there's no maximum bid right now. So instead of putting in money to get traffic, I highly recommend putting in time. And I do not mean a lot of time. I mean like 20 minutes a day. And I don't mean forever. I just mean maybe in your first year on Etsy. During the stage of your business that I call the sprinting phase, where we are using scrappy sprinting strategies. And the 3 places we're doing this are Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. So using these 3 channels to drive traffic organically, it is going to pay off with a compounding effect. And what I mean by that is you're gonna put in time up front, like 20 minutes a day up front, daily, right? Just 20 minutes a day. And you are gonna see the traffic from those 3 places build and build and build like a snowball. You're putting in the investment of your time, but the return on that investment is years and years of traffic that's building like a snowball. This is a much, much more valuable way to get traffic. You're putting in the work now, and the results have a compounding effect for years and years to come. This is why I implemented these strategies hard in my first like 12, maybe to 15 months on Etsy. I implemented these strategies so hard, but 6.5 years later, I don't have to do any of them. And I am still getting traffic from the actions and the hard work that I put in 6.5 years ago. It's like a snowball effect. Not to mention, outside of the compounding effect of traffic, there are 2 other huge ways that you are going to get value from doing the Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram strategies. Those other 2 benefits have to do with your shop's track record and how you stand out among the competition. And 2, this is going to lead you to end up with a shop that is full of things that other people want, not of things that you think people want, which is huge key and is growing and scaling on Etsy. So there's a lot of benefits to implementing my strategies for driving traffic organically, but ultimately, this video was about advertising. As you can see, the results here, it is what it is. And that's why I really only recommend using Etsy ads for a very specific time in your business and for a very specific number of hours. Etsy ads is not going to be a core part of your business strategy. It is going to be a tool to, let's say, pump things up once in a while, very sparingly. Some Etsy business coaches will say you need to be spending, $5, $10, $15 a day in ads in order to be getting visits and getting customers and getting sales. Well, yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that there are 3 other channels that you can be using where it doesn't cost you any money, just costs a little bit of your time, and the effects are lasting. If you are interested in learning the strategies for those 3 channels, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, I'd love to talk with you more. Just send me a message, team@dylanjarris.com, or send me a message on Instagram @dylanjarris. So I hope this was interesting to you. I will not be making that mistake with Etsy ads again. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You can also hit that little bell so that you're notified when I post a new video, and I'll see you in the next video.